In the time before time, on the mysterious island of Matanui, 6 canisters washed ashore on a golden beach, and new and powerful legends were born.
I liked Bionicle a whole lot as a kid, and I have photographic evidence to back that up. Me and Toa Vakama have been through a lot. I had a couple of the sets, but I was definitely more of a casual fan. I wasn't that deep into the lore or anything. See, I always liked Bionicle, but it wasn't one of my major obsessions. For those early years, I was just too interested in other things to get fully invested in this world. I didn't know that there was much more to these than being awesome robot toys with a couple fun animated movies and some cool Legoland attractions. But in 2008, that changed. As I delved deeper into the series' characters and world building, I discovered that there was a lot more to these than I thought. From Phantoka to Mistika, this is my retrospective on the entirety of Bionicle in 2008.
In 2008, the Toa faced their greatest challenge, a battle in the skies at the core of the universe. The Toa Nuva will continue the fight. The final battle is about to begin.
2008 was the year I went from being a casual Bionicle fan to being a creepy little ghoul. Ooh, I've come for your Bionicles! So why was this the year that I decided to finally become a full-on Bionicle obsessive? I mean, this is hardly the most talked about year, and when it is talked about, it's usually not in the most positive light. Truth be told, Bionicle hadn't really been on my radar in a few years. I saw some of those spider ads in comic books, I saw the iconic Move Along commercial, but I hadn't bought a new set since 2004. The Mari commercials did pique my interest a bit. When you start doing fish stuff, that's when you start reeling me back in. My friend next door was really into Lego, and especially Bionicle. Got me obsessed with Lego.com, My Lego Network. This stuff was incredible. Easily one of the best 2000s kids commercial websites. The Bionicle mini site had a ton of legacy stuff on it, videos covering the basic story so far, a bunch of the comics from the previous year. I was able to catch up on that missed time pretty easily, but I needed a way to keep up with the new stuff and find a good entry point. And help arrived in the mail every other month in the form of Lego Magazine. This was awesome. Bi-monthly news about all your favorite Lego themes in the mail, and it was free. There was also a paid version, Brickmaster, with extra content and exclusive Lego sets, like 2008's Winged Rahi. The only way to get it was from Brickmaster, and this creature is extremely plot crucial. I know you don't believe me, just you wait. Anyway, around the time I was getting into all of this, Bionicle was starting a new story arc. That first Lego magazine I got came with this, the first issue of the Phantoka storyline. It was truly the perfect time for me to get back into Bionicle, especially because these are the characters I knew. This series was always changing up the cast between different arcs and toy lines, but Phantoka brought back the original Toa. What, you can't tell? 2008 sets were pretty controversial. One of those reasons being these redesigns looking basically nothing like the original characters. Like, this could be anyone. Redesigning these classic looks with flight gear would have been awesome, but I think these designs are still cool as their own thing. Pohatu's kinda weird though. What's up with the scissor hands? The transparent part of the mask is neat, and the Sky Blaster is extremely funny. It shoots out this solid marble so fast, you could kill someone with this. I hear people mention a lot that these sets were far less durable, and I kind of agree. I could run over 2004's Toa Vakama with a truck and lose, but I feel like Lee was gonna shatter if I look at him funny. These are not the worst though. I think 2009 sets were even more breakable. But yeah, don't be surprised if some of these guys are missing some parts. Let's talk about the Matoran. I like that they're fighting directly alongside the Toa, latching onto their backs to fly together. It's cool in the story, and even cooler getting to put them together like this. Attacking them are the Makuta, who are like these nightmare bat things now. The Toa's greatest threat so far, the Devil. I loved how Bionicle's themes and aesthetic would always change between the different waves, and I think that's where Phantoka really shines. Everyone's flying in the sky shooting down vampires. That's awesome. Another big controversy was changing Makuta's name to Pterodax and just making Makuta the name of the species of bad guys, which is a weird change and I don't know why they did it, but I don't know, I'm kind of indifferent. They even have their own evil Matoran with them, except they aren't actually evil. The Makuta drop these capsules from their ribcage full of shadow leeches that turn them into little ghouls. These squishy little dudes rock. Remember the Winged Rahi from Brickmaster magazine? Apparently that thing is called a clack, and if it shoots a Matoran, it makes them not evil anymore. They still look like nightmarish abominations forever, but hey, it's on the inside that counts. So that was Phantoka and the battle in the skies above Cardanui, but the Mistika wave in the summer of '08 would take us to the swamps on the surface below. The Toa for this wave are... there's something. Yeah, this is Tahu, the mascot of the series. I don't know why he looks like this. I met Tahu in real life, and actually he doesn't look like this. It's a pretty cool design, but not at all recognizable as Tahu. The 2023 Lego brick design looks closer to the real thing. The same applies to Golly, but I actually really like this one. I'm biased. The lethal Sky Blasters have been replaced with the Ghost Blasters, which are pretty pathetic. I can't mortally wound someone with this. Some of my really old ones won't even fire anymore. Oh, but the Makuta in this wave are something else. Wave 1 had vampires, and now we've got giant bug monsters. You've piqued my interest with fish, you fully have my attention with bugs. They're so unique and weird. I completely understand the complaints with 2008's Toa, but the villains were incredible. Gorast is my single favorite Bionicle set, which sounds weird. Over 200 sets, and this is my favorite? I got her along with Golly for Christmas 2008. Building these two on Christmas morning is just a special memory. Also, giant, evil, multi-armed mosquito lady with a gun is simply peak design. Sadly, no Matoran in the Mistika wave. I'm not counting this guy. Though they do have the parts to connect them still. I think after being freed from being evil, the other 3 Matoran from Phantoka are meant to pair up with the Mistika. Instead, we got a bunch of giants and vehicles. I actually had this one. These days, it's completely destroyed and it's quite expensive now, so this is the most I can show you. Sorry. These sets are awesome. They got big vampires, they got big bugs, but what was going on in the actual story here? The Toa are on Cardanui looking for the Mask of Life and the keystones that they can use to revive the Great Spirit Mata Nui, and of course that leads them to having to fight the Makuta in their way. Oh, and look at that, we get a cool fight between my two favorites, Gorast and Golly. Takanuva eventually shows up to help out, everyone has this big awesome battle in the swamp, and using the keystones the Toa enter the Kodrex. Inside, they find where the canisters that they originally arrived in were held, which raises some interesting questions, but more importantly, they find cool airplanes and have a cool airplane battle. Meanwhile, Golly and Toa Ignika are trying to figure out how to use the keystones to awaken Mata Nui. Oh, yeah, Toa Ignika is also someone who exists. I totally forgot. The Mask of Life was like, dang, that Matoro guy who sacrificed his life in the last story arc was really cool, and formed its own body to become a Toa. And similar to their hero, Ignika sacrifices themselves to awaken Mata Nui, which causes a huge storm that destroys everything and kills everyone. Turox dies a horrible, painful death. Editor's note, this is actually not Turox, this is Mutran, who looks exactly like Turox, but is slightly green. I'm so sorry for this terrible mistake I've made. I love the narration in this comic. Biddle is trying to escape and says, "When I make it out of here, Pterodax will see that I am his most trusted lieutenant. He'll see." And then he explodes and the narrator just says, "No, he won't." The Toa do all escape now that they have cool planes, and finally, Mata Nui rises. After like a decade of Bionicle, Mata Nui's finally back. Everyone is celebrating. After all these years, they finally did it. Didn't they? It's revealed that Pterodax had taken over Mata Nui's body, which is what the Toa unknowingly awakened. Mata Nui's spirit was sealed inside the Mask of Life and was shot into another far-off universe. Makuta had won, leading directly into 2009's Glatorian arc. Are you tired? I'm tired. Obviously, Bionicle lore is Bionicle lore, and to give a full, detailed explanation of the story, it would take like 5 hours. I'm not gonna do that, those are the basics. Those are the main sets and comics, but 2008 had a lot of weirder stuff to offer too. After the break, we're gonna talk about Flash games, music videos, and McDonald's toys.
Surpresas para os meninos dos incríveis Bionicles são no mundo da imaginação.
Bionicle McDonald's Happy Meal toys should be an awesome idea, like a little Lego set that you build while you eat your McDonald's burger. Whoa, crazy, that's so cool. Well, this isn't quite what I had in mind. These were all one solid thing. I mean, you attach the wings yourself, that's kind of something. It's weird that this exists, but it's sort of cool. 2008 had a few Scholastic books, there was a Phantoka card game, Phantoka Nerf gun, a couple of great Cryoshell songs, and what a perfect band for this series, their music just fits. Cryoshell is to Bionicle what Crush 40 was to Sonic the Hedgehog. They're such a big part of the series' identity. I love watching this music video and then, oh hey, it's Tahu from Bionicle. Lastly, there were a few Flash games to talk about. Phantoka's Battle for Power had different missions for each of the characters. My favorite was Turok's, where you fly around and shoot stuff down. Tonma's game was pretty similar, but a little bit harder. Those are really the only two I like in this collection. The rest are kind of weird to control and aren't as fun. You can enter codes to get some concept art and prototype designs, those are a nice bonus. And I have even less to say about the Mistika game. You choose one of 6 characters, or 7 if you were playing the CartoonNetwork.com version, fly around the swamp and shoot dinosaurs? The controls feel really weird, and it's disappointing that some of these awesome character designs are shrunken down to where you can barely tell who they are. Hello? Is that Gorast from Bionicle I see down there? There was a level editor and you could play other people's levels, but I wasn't into this game enough to really get into that. Tahu's Brick Bash. It's like Breakout, but instead of a ball, you have a gun and you dodge the broken remains of the bricks. I don't really like it. Run the Gauntlet. This is a first-person shooter, sort of? I don't know what you'd call this. I don't like it, though. They gave the cool giant bug guy a game where you don't get to see giant cool bug guy. Like, what's the point? Ricochet Raid. This is a top-down shooter game like Mistika, but everything is constantly moving and bouncing off of the walls, including the character you're attempting to control. Trail of Glory has Gorast on the title screen and then makes me play as an airplane. Why would you trick me? Bionicle in 2008 was very flawed. Less durable builds, weird redesigns of classic characters that look nothing like the classic characters, and the bizarre Makuta name retcon. But Bionicle in 2008 was also so cool. 2 great settings in the skies above Kartanui and in the swamps below. Evil vampire demon things who drop rubber leeches that make you evil. Giant bugs with guns. Matoran and Toa linking up and flying together. Cryo shell music. And the greatest thing of all, Clack. There's plenty of stuff to dislike, but the stuff that they do well, they do really well, and at its best, this year was like peak Bionicle. That's nostalgia for you. I'm biased. You can't change my mind. Phantoka and Mistika took Bionicle from being something I liked to being something I would forever cherish. I have so many memories playing Bionicle, building Bionicle, and talking Bionicle with my next door neighbor. Thank you so much, 2008, for the cool robot toys. I am bad at ending videos, so Bionicle Dance Party, go!